Hello everyone, and welcome back to Wolf, and we are here with Lightfall, who is starting to get fed up with all of the cows in the area. You can see there are two of them right here. There's also a human uncomfortably close, so we're probably going to kind of get out of here. We're going to look for something to eat. What did I see? Oh, that's the den. Okay. We're going to get out of here for the time being, but... And are we? No, we've recovered from injury. But Lightfall is starting to get a little bit fed up with all of these weird smelling cows. And so tonight, he is actually going to head out and try and take one down. Now, this could go very badly because what Lightfall does not know is that the cows actually belong to the humans. And even though the cows themselves aren't a threat, the humans that tend to them are. So if Lightfall is not careful, he could very well have his story cut short. But if he is careful, he may find a new and more reliable way, and a much easier to hunt way of feeding the pack. And it's not entirely so much a pack as it is a group of loners who are for the time traveling together. We're gonna make sure we eat so that we are strong for the hunt. Lightfall sees these cows more as a threat than as a source of food for the time being because he doesn't know what they are or what they want. So we'll go ahead and skip through this. We will get some food and then we'll actually go after that cow down there. Now he's gonna try and do it under cover of darkness to see if that helps anything. And perhaps it will. We'll have to see what comes of this, but he does need to be very, very careful because if he isn't, he could find himself in deep trouble if he survives. So now it's not that we are trying to get rid of Lightfall, but we'll just skip through this, and this is a long one. But it's not that we are trying to get him killed or anything, but he is just getting kind of fed up with these cows, and I just really feel like his response to the cows would be ultimately to start to go on the attack. So that may prove to be a very unwise decision, but no risks taken, nothing gained. So we'll have to see. Maybe, can he get these guys to stay away? He doesn't, no, don't. He wants them to go away. Okay, good. Hopefully they'll stay and keep their distance because he's gonna go on and do this alone so that seriously guys, please no. Lay down and stay. No. It seems like they're insisting on coming and I'm not sure how to order them to stop. Now we are kind of close to some humans here. And hopefully they will not close in when we do this because it could be fairly disastrous if they do. They're actually near what looks like an old den. We'll have to see. I'm kind of nervous about this. Where is the cow? Did we seriously just... I think a cow spawned in this den. So we'll go take out one of the other ones because this one is not going to be an option. What? Oh, it's this phase of the moon has changed. So I believe we're now halfway through the month. We'll have to see. So we don't see anything. But yeah, look, there's two cows up here. And they're kind of a little bit further from the humans than this one was anyway. So we'll have to see what happens, but he's determined to hunt down this cow before the night is up, because under cover of darkness he feels a little safer. So let's head up to this cow. We're getting a little thirsty, but it's not too bad. And we'll have to, we may actually run across some water on the way because we're going to pass by the den. So we might stop and get a drink real fast before the night ends. Yeah, we'll stop and just get a little bit of drink here so we're nice and strong for the hunt. And I wish these guys would stop following me because Lightfall knows what he's about to do could be dangerous. There is a human sort of nearby. And we're going to walk the rest of the way because we want his stamina we want him to have some stamina if he has to bolt. Hopefully this does not end in disaster. So we'll go ahead and we're gonna attack this cow. and just see what happens. And he's very much ready to run because he doesn't know what's going to happen. But if he succeeds, it looks like we did it. We were able to kill the cow without alerting the humans. Oh, guys, that was a little bit more tense than I thought it would be. So I think he's going to quickly scoot out of here and return to his den with his, at least they're not quite his pack, but they are his, they are at least his friends and companions for the time being. So we shall have to see what comes of that, because if you recall, Cephus is kind of trying to get Lightfall here to consider his daughter Drifthowl as a possible mate. That is Cephas's daughter, not Lightfall's daughter. Lightfall does not have a daughter, and that would be weird. So we'll go ahead. We will rest for the remainder of the night. There's really not that much of the night left, but we'll get a little bit of sleep. Let our stamina recover. And now it's morning. Okay. We'll get up again. And there are humans nearby. There's another cow up there. I think we'll stop and get some water over here at this pond. So Lightfall knows better than to attack the humans, but cows are something he hasn't seen before, and he's also started to realize that, hey, this cow didn't put up much of a fight. So depending on how this goes, and is it raining? It's raining, okay. Depending on how this goes, he may start hunting cows more frequently if he can get his paws on them. And that could prove to be rather dangerous. There is another cow, and I think, oh wow, it's actually thunderstorming. I think he might start to make his way up there. That cow down below us is the one that was stuck in the den. But I think he might have started to realize that cows could be a very viable and very easy source of prey. I mean, they don't even run away from you. They kind of just stand there. And that could possibly get him in trouble. We'll have to see. But for now, I think he'll probably leave the one in peace. I think he's going to try and get a bite to eat at this carcass down here, because he is starting to get hungry. And hopefully the rain will start to waterlog the ground so that we can get a drink from that. But if not, we can always head back up to the den area to get a drink. It is pretty nice to have food and water so close to the den. And there is the cow that I believe is trapped in a den. And, of course, you know, Lightfall's proneness to killing cattle could lead to a possibility, some interesting possibilities if he ends up coming into our Wolf Quest series at any point, which, if he does survive this month that he has been searching for Lucan, he may very well do. He and Lucan may have a sort of side story. Why are you guys running? They're running for some reason. Okay, well, or one of them is. Who's sticking with us? It is Drifthowl. Drifthowl is sticking with us. So we may do a sort of side story with them if we end up making it back to Yellowstone National Park, which we will say, oh, that's why he's running. No, it isn't. Okay. Never mind then. But she wants to eat some, it looks like. And we want to eat some as well. We'll go ahead and eat. So there are 4 types of sounds: howl, bark, whimper, and growl. Howling is the most familiar wolf vocalization to everyone. So, but if he does end up having his own side story in Wolf Quest, we will have to see how his fondness for killing cattle may impact him. It could have a rather interesting effect. We shall have to see. And it looks like it's about midday, it's stormy, the weather isn't the greatest at the moment. But are we able to get a drink from the ground? Nope, we can't. Where's the nearest water source? Probably back at the den. I think we're gonna head that way, even though there is a human uncomfortably close. We're gonna head back to the den and try and get a drink. And there does seem to be a cow down here, but I'm pretty sure there's also a moose. I'm pretty sure that cow got stuck in the den and spawned in there somehow, which means that we really can't hunt it, so... And then as darkness falls again, we may perhaps try and kill that other cow that has been, that you can see up above us, sort of near where we killed the first one. Decisions, decisions, decisions. And we're gonna head this way. I don't think we see anything. Not anything of note, at least. There is something far in the distance, but I think it's a prey animal. And we'll just head back, get ourselves a drink, and when dark falls, we will see what we do. What Lightfall may do. And it appears there's a prey animal this way as well. We have to be very careful too, because if you remember, sometimes there are planes and helicopters that fly in, and those can be very dangerous. They tend to kill you pretty much instantly in most cases. So you really don't want to end up tangling with an airplane or a helicopter. And those can only be seen by their shadows on the ground. So that is why it is so important to check your sight, because if you see a shadow, then it is best to run as far in the opposite direction as you can go. Let us get some water. And then I think we will actually rest a little bit right now, if we can, because night is falling and we plan on being awake so that we can try and hunt that cow that is up to the north. And as it is night now, we should get moving. I think Lightfall is the sort who, once he finds something that works, he goes ahead and continues doing it. And in this case, if that is killing cattle, he doesn't really understand the danger that, hey, this could upset the humans and send them after me. He doesn't really have a concept of that. He just knows, hey, this is easy prey. It worked to kill it once before. It'll probably work again. And that's honestly with wolves that do become a problem when it comes to livestock. That's probably how it starts for them. They don't have the sort of thought process that would lead them to say, oh, the humans don't like this. I could get myself killed doing this. They just see easy prey that can't really run away from them very well. That's easy to bring down and provides a lot of food. So there are haystacks here, which is kind of a human impact on the plains. I'm surprised we haven't seen a farmstead yet. I don't know if they have them in the... I don't know if they actually put farmsteads in here, but like with all the hay bales and the cows around, you'd kind of almost expect them. So, but anyway, here, there's a cow apparently this way. Do we see... The cow's up here. The cow is right up here? Yes, there's the cow. And the night is young, so we're going to go ahead and attack this cow. It's a pretty weak cow, too. So, very, very easy to kill. And no weird scents. Doesn't seem like there are humans about, so we're going to stop and we'll get ourselves a little snack. Can we eat? So it says, growling is heard during food challenges and like the bark is part of threat behavior or an assertion of rights in some social context. Growling is more common among pups when they're playing. Pups also growl when they jerk at the ruff of a reclining adult, and comically will even try to growl adults off a piece of food. Another type of growl is a high-pitched one that begins to sound like a whine and often precedes a snapping lunge at another wolf. And we will let Lightfall get a nice little snack from the cow I killed. It's not a caribou like it looks like there. They just have one carcass type for these cutscenes. But we are actually eating off the cow we just killed. And after this, I think we will probably head back towards the den. And kind of we'll probably just sprint it back quite a ways. And get some water near the den, and then we will rest. For what remains of the night. We are about halfway through the challenge, so if Lightfall can continue to survive, then we will probably see him in Yellowstone unless he decides he wants to stay with Cephus and Drifthowl, or something dramatic happens to change his plans entirely to something else. It all depends on how the game goes. There's a lot of randomness in this game too, a lot of events, sometimes just random events just happen, like how we actually did lose Cloud Song, and which is kind of what sparked all of this. Lightfall is Cloud Song's brother, and Lucan is Cloud Song's mate, and so her death devastated them both. And Lucan actually just ran off, and so now Lightfall has been looking for his friend and essentially the equivalent of his brother-in-law. So Lightfall has been seeking him out, but so far has not found him. But it was Cloudsong's death that sparked all of this. And that's why Lightfall is on his way to Yellowstone to begin with, even though he doesn't know exactly where he is going. So let's see, where is that water? That water should be right here. There's the water. And that cow, I think, is trapped inside the den, so we can't go after it, unfortunately. But we'll kind of stop here by the water and rest for the remainder of the night, just to kind of regain our stamina. And, night usually passes pretty quickly when you sleep. Of course, now those nights may go more slowly if we find more cows that we'd like to kill under cover of darkness. There is a caribou. We'll go ahead and just check it out, give it a little bit of a sniff, and see what's going on. See how strong of a caribou it is. If it might be worth pursuing. They are not so concerned. Oh, it might be. They are not so concerned here about preserving the prey numbers as we usually are if we plan to have a long-term game, because they are all just kind of passing through. So they're kind of just hunting what they need to. And they do have some carcasses laying around. So they probably don't really need to hunt that much. But it never hurts to have a little bit of extra food. So they will at least check out all of these caribou. I think they're caribou. And just kind of see what's up with them, see if they're going to be weak. And if they are going to be weak, then they may be hunted down and left for food, basically. Unless there's a human that close. If we get much closer to that human, then we are going to have to break off. Yeah, we're going to break off this hunt because we are too close to a human, and that is scary and not something we want to mess around with. And hopefully Lightfall would never get to the point of being so unafraid that he would actually challenge a human. Most wolves in the wild don't do that. Most wolves in the wild actually end up, there's never actually been a documented case of a healthy wolf or pack of wolves attacking a human in North America that I know of. It's always been due to disease or some other factor. But actually in the Arctic, if you have wolves that, usually wolves there have never even encountered a human, so they don't have as much of that instinctual fear, and so a lot of the time you'll see photographers or filmmakers who will go up there to film the wolves, and the wolves are coming pretty close to them. Now they're not attacking them, but they're also not afraid of them, and it can be kind of dangerous because you have to remember that wolves are predators, and they could do quite a bit of damage if they wanted to, but in most cases the wolves are actually just pretty curious and not all that afraid. Now, if you ever see a wolf in the wild, don't try to pet it, don't try to befriend it, just observe it from a safe distance. And there's another cow. But just observe it from a safe distance and let it be, let it stay wild, because if you try and get a wolf accustomed to humans, you're either going to end up getting hurt yourself, or if you were to succeed, then you could potentially be the cause of a dangerous animal that doesn't fear humans and starts attacking livestock or causing problems. And in that case, sometimes there's no alternative except to kill the animal. So you don't want to be a part of that. You don't want to. It's usually best to just leave nature as nature and kind of leave it be and observe it from a safe distance. It's very important to remember that wolves are still wild animals, even though they are a lot like dogs in many ways. They are still wild. They're not tame like our domestic dogs are. And they can be quite dangerous if they feel cornered, if they're threatened, or if they become too used to humans. So, but that's just a little safety tip. If you are lucky enough to see a wolf in the wild, just admire it. Get your camera if you have your camera, and just watch it from a safe distance, and because that's not something many people get to see. Now there is a cow here, and I think Lightfall would probably just settle down in these bushes here to wait for the cover of darkness. He's gonna just lay down in these bushes, and we'll actually wrap up the episode here now that night is falling. And next time we will come back and see what Lightfall does. There's another cow here he's getting prepared to attack, and we'll have to see. Hopefully this cow killing will not catch up to him. But I will see you guys next time, and until then, this is Jay, over and out.